Hey, Assalamu alaikum. Let's understand about the early age of depression. So, what is the meaning of the early age of depression? So, basically, whenever the childhood, before the puberty, you will feel the stress and anxiety. For example, your children, and if you are, so we are collectively understand why your children basically obsessed with any tension, and basically they have ADHD, or on the other hand the another problem. So let's understand about that. Basically, the sign and symptom of the early age of depression. So why the possibility of the early age of depression and stress and another anxiety and depression symptom. So basically it is due to the overload in the school time, in the college time, the homework, and the time basically consumption more for the education and less consumption for the activity which that is related to the hobby or related to the interested things, but they don't want to go to the school, don't want to go to the college, but they feel the stress, anxiety and depression due to these forcefully insisting things. So in this way through parents. So this video basically this is the important for the parent, which that basically if you are watching, so if you have children, so you should think about that. So basically let's understand about that persistent sadness or irritability. Why? Because they're not their taste for go to the school, for go to the college, but you should improve, you should give the emotional interest, which that basically children will like to go to the school for success, but they don't think about that, they think about that dependency. So whenever they feel the dependency, so independent things which that will not under the children, so in this way the independent things will not perform like hobby, like their interest. So in this way the dependent thing basically is not good and not efficient performing process. And in this way loss of interest in activities. Why? Because school time basically they don't want to go to the school, they don't want to homework for the school and daily basis, which that will lead to cause many stress, anxiety and depression. Changes in appetite or sleep patterns, so this is due to some other reason, but we are just understand generally for children which that is normal, so it will lead to cause depressive person. Fatigue or low energy. Why fatigue or low energy? Because they invest the time to their uninterested things. So in this way feeling of worthlessness or guilt, social withdrawal or isolation, so they feel very bad itself, and in this way they will lead to isolate itself, and in this way social withdrawal or isolation. Suicidal thoughts, it can be occur due to the sign and symptom of the ADHD or the early age of depression. So in this way the social thoughts or behavior which that is rare but serious. And the cause and risk factor is that genetics is number one. So also genetic basically. Why genetics? For example, if you are a depressive person, so your children ultimately get that gene, and that gene will activate in your children, and your children ultimately feel the depression. But anyhow, the family history of depression. So the family history, trauma or abuse. So abuse mean, for example, trauma or abuse. So abuse mean whenever the harassment for the female or some other things like rape, which that will lead to cause progression in the early age of depression, which that will lead to progress, and in this way cause the ADHD and a lot more other things. Basically not only ADHD but also mental disorder, because your brain basically not function properly emotionally, so your dopamine will disrupt, and in this the emotional changes will occur. You will feel frustration and irritability will occur. On the other hand, a lot more depression, anxiety, stress will possible. The the bullying or social rejection, learning disabilities, or the academic struggles, overloading of teachers' homework, school time, and the burden of the bunches of books, teacher torture to the dull students, and which that will lead to also cause the stress, anxiety, and depression, social media and screen time. So this is very important things currently. So how to prevent that? The prevention strategy which that you can understand through notes. So here is which they are showing in the screen. So the positive relation with children by family is important. Healthy lifestyle habits. So stress management techniques which that is important. On the other hand, the emotional intelligence and self-awareness and social skill training. The social skill training which that is important. But social skill training should be with the emotionally connected. Why? Because emotionally connected, for example, their own interest and their own choice. So that is thing. And in this way, students feel the independently. And in this way, independently work will more and more. Student will not feel the punishment. So that is why. Important note: the depression is not a sign of weakness. And depression is not a sign of weakness. And early intervention improves the outcomes. Children with depression may not exhibit typical about the a typical adult symptom. So in this way, children with depression may not exhibit typical adult symptom, but their symptom is the different. So I hope you make sense about that. So next video we will understand a lot more interesting topic about the children early depression. So how we can reverse our children, how can improve our family, so that all these things will important. So see you in the next video. For this, bye. Allah Hafiz.